Hi, good evening. I'm Dr. Philip Macmillan. Thank you very much for joining me. This will be a very quick presentation as I'm bringing awareness about the recent debate in the United Kingdom, the parliamentary debate about excess deaths. This is what I'll be making reference to in just a few minutes and listening to a short ending clip from Andrew Bridgen, the MP, about what he said at the end of his speech in the debate. Before I start, just a quick reminder if you're not aware, coming up in just another week or so is the next webinar, Nitric Oxide and COVID. Really interesting concept here that I'd like you to look at. Just register for the course. This will be the webinar on the 25th of January. If you're watching afterwards, there should be a link for this interesting course and our Kickstarter campaign if you are interested. So please look forward to getting you involved with that. So let's get back to this point. Today is the 16th of January 2024, and Andrew Bridgen said something that stood out. Conspiracy against the science, conspiracy of silence. That's what it feels like with regards to excess deaths in the UK. He's been pushing against the mainstream with regards to this very important topic. And you can see that he finally got a parliamentary debate. This was, as it says here, on Thursday, the 16th of January 2024 at 9:30 in the morning, finished by 11:32 in the morning. So just over 2 hours, not a lot of time, but an important debate nonetheless. The link to this page is present in the description below. I don't know if it matters where you are in the world. If not, let me know and I can probably make a play of it so that people can see the full 2 hours if they are so interested. So, just a few highlights with regards to this before I play the clip from Andrew Bridgen. This is the image of the debate. Now, you have to remember I don't quite know why these seats are at the front. I don't know if it's just random or if these are for cabinet members or so on, but you have another set of seats here on the outside. So you're talking probably about 20, 50, yeah, probably about 20 people who were present here for this debate out of 385 who voted yes for vaccine mandates in the UK. So clearly, the majority are still not particularly interested in regards to excess deaths. Maybe they have good reason for that. Maybe they just think that there is no need for any further investigations. So just a few highlights here. So at the beginning here, you had Andrew Bridgen. He was talking, and I'm just clipping through it here. And along the line, various people were able to ask questions and make points. So you can see here that this is another honorable gentleman here who was making a question. At this point here, this is another honorary gentleman who is again making a question. I'm not playing these here, but it's 2 hours long. So different people got to be able to respond to the various points made by Andrew Bridgen. And it therefore is important that at least some of the politicians were engaged. It would be very interesting to know how many of those who were there had voted no in the first place against the mandates. That in itself would be an interesting exercise in the psychology of our politicians. So, what I'll do quickly is that I will now play that clip, that 1 minute clip right at the end that I thought caught my attention. And if you want to watch the full 2 hours, you can use the link below. But here is the clip that caught my attention.
Before I was expelled from the Conservative Party for voicing my concerns over these experimental vaccines and the harms that I believe they cause, I met with a senior member of the party who, after listening to my concerns about the vaccines and NG163, the midazolam and morphine scandal, told me quite calmly, "Andrew, there is currently no political appetite for your views on the vaccines. There may well be in 20 years' time, and you're probably going to be proven right. But in the meantime, you need to bear in mind You're taking on the most powerful vested interest in the world with all the personal risk for you that will entail. Sir Gary, I refuse to bow to that threat. And as they say, the rest is history. People have alleged that I'm spouting conspiracy theories. Well, I think it is a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy against the science. It's a conspiracy of silence. And Sir Gary, it's a conspiracy against the people. And I will have none of it.
Wow, powerful words. He will have none of it. Where are the other people who would stand up and advocate for the public who may or may not have been harmed? Here is an important point for those people who don't quite get what's going on. Whichever way we take it, there is a cohort of people who have been harmed by vaccines. They've had side effects. And it's not a small number. But even if it was a small number, there is still a responsibility to look out for their needs and their interests. What we have, however, is far more serious. Let me just say this as simply as I can. And I'm saying this from observing, thinking, researching what is happening even at the front every day. What we're facing is a crisis across the world of unprecedented proportion. Many people will blame one thing or another, and it came out in the presentation. Some people say it's the virus that's doing this. Some people say it's the vaccine that's doing this. My point is, it's both. We are dealing with a combination that is so frightening to consider the implications, especially if you understand anything about autoimmunity and immune priming and what can happen when the immune system turns on itself. That's the cytokine storm. I don't think there is any way out of this, but we may be able to mitigate it if we stop playing politics, start using science to look for solutions that can potentially mitigate an unprecedented disaster. And I am happy to stand in that point and say that this is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. As sad and as worrying as that may be, it's because the politicians have probably not been educated enough as to what exactly is happening and where this is going that they are taking that position of silence. This will come back to bite. There's no doubt about it. Have a good evening.